Okay, when we're done. Okay, the beginning of the sun that appeared was the beginning of the Leil Revi over here. In other words, the beginning of time as we know it, based upon the sun, was at 6 p.m. That's when it began. Betchilas Leil Revi. And that is, this Gemara is going according to the opinion, there's a machlokes, when exactly the world was created. Was it created in Tishrei or Nisan? Rabbi Eliezer says in Tishrei. Rabbi Yeshua says it was created in Nisan. We're going according to the opinion that it was created in Nisan. So at 6 p.m. On Wednesday night, that's when Tekufas Nisan started. Now the difference between every Tekufa is 7.5 hours. So the next Tekufas Tammuz is going to be 7.5. This is all predicated upon the following cheshbon. In a solar year, there are 365 days and 6 hours. So if you divide 4, as there are 4 seasons, right? We call them tekufos. You're going to get 91 days and 7.5 hours. That's going to be 365 and 6 hours divided by 4. If you do it in weeks, it's 13 weeks and 7.5 hours. So there's 13 weeks and 7 hours to each tekufa. So each tekufa will be 30 hours later. 7.5 times 4 equals 30. 7.5 times 4 equals 30. So each tekufa will be 30. So for example, in this year, tekufas will be 6 p.m. So if you're going to go 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, and a fourth 7.5, then 30 hours later, it's going to begin at 12 a.m., right? 6 p.m. 24 hours later is 6 a.m. 6 hours after that is 12 a.m. And so on and so forth. It'll always be 30 hours apart, going the same tekufa every year. Year number 1, year number 2, year number 3, year number 4. So therefore, 6 p.m., 30 hours later, or 12 a.m., 30 hours later, 6 a.m., 30 hours, 12 a.m. This is it, the Tekufas Nisan every single year. Now, what about within the year? Well, there's a 7.5 hour difference. So if Tekufas Nisan begins 6 p.m., then Tekufas Tammuz is going to begin at 1:30 a.m. That's 7.5 hours later. Tekufas Tishrei will begin at 9 a.m., 7.5 hours after 1:30. And 9 hours after that will be 4:30. So going across this way, within the year, 7.5 hours difference, again, and going down this way, it's always 30 hours, because 7.5 times 4, guys, is 30. Okay, so therefore, with this in mind, we can go ahead and see what the Gemara is talking about, trying to figure out exactly where to draw the line when you're making the north, you're trying to figure out when you put the city. So yesterday we spoke about using the stars. Failure to use the stars, you're able to figure out the tekufas based upon the seasons, based upon where the sun will be in the seasons. So we're going to begin on Nun Vav Amid Aleph, and we're up to Amashmuel. But when before the lines get wide, count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Before the lines get wide, count up 6 lines. We're up to Amar Shmuel. We're up to there. Amar Shmuel. Ain't Tekufas Nisan, right? Ain't Tekufas Nisan Nefeles. What is that? Let me mute that. Okay. Okay, I'm going to put the chart back up. Again, I'm going to be referring back to the chart in the next piece of Gemara. So we'll see the chart. Ain't Tekufas Nisan Nefeles. Tekufas Nisan, that's one over here. Nefeles El Ba'arba Revoya Hayoim, a quarter of the day. Oy B'tchilas Hayoim, Oy B'tchilas Halayla. Oy B'chatzi Hayoim, Oy B'chatzi Halayla. So guys, Tchilas Layla, look at the chart, would be 6 p.m., right? 12 a.m. would be Chatzi Leil. Tchilas day would be 6 a.m. Half the Dibit day would be 12 p.m. So Tekufas Nisan can only fall in these 4 hours. And it never changes. It never changes because the sun always goes around 365 in 6 hours. Next, the Intkufis Tamas Nefelas Ella Oila Ba'achas Umechza. Guys, what time is that? Achas Umechza, 1:30. Oy B'Shevu Umechza, 7:30. Right? Again, 1:30, 30 hours later is going to be 1:30. 1:30 is 24 hours plus 6 is 7:30, correct? Guys, Geschmack? Clear?
So this is what this has to do. This is the Moilid.
Nope. This is the solar year.
This is
Nothing to do with the Moilid whatsoever.
This is the
Not the
Tkufa.
lunar. This is the solar year. This is given. This is written in stone. It's etched in stone. So now, again, 30 hours. 1:30, 24 hours later is going to be 1:30. 6 hours after that, it's going to be 7:30. Going down, 7:30, 24 hours later will be 7:30. 6 hours after that, it's going to be 1:30, and so on. So back in the Gemara, Sheva Mechza, Bein B'Yom Bein B'Layla. Bein Tkufas Tishrei Nefelas, Ella Oy B'Shalosh Shoyis, guys, 3 hours into the day, Oy B'Tisha Shoyis. So again, 9, 3, 9, 3. Bein B'Yom Bein B'Layla, whether it's day or night. Bein Tkufas Teves Nefelas, Ella Oy B'Arba Umechza, Oy B'Eser Umechza. It's either 4 or 10 and a half. Bein B'Yom Bein B'Layla. The difference, guys, is going to be, as we said, going to be 91 and 7.5 hours. And the kufa will not go ahead and be moishach only a half hour. What does that mean? I guess the half-hour difference between them. 1:30 to 9, over these half hours over here. Those half-hour differences. Now we know that there's we had in Masechta Shabbos. We know there are seven celestial bodies: Koichav, Levana, Shifta, Tzedek, Madim, Chama, and Noiga. Mercury, moon. We went through all these things. Now there's 7 of these things. There's 7. So obviously 7, right? 7. It's going to be 7 of these will match up with the 7 hours, but it's going to always be a half-hour difference because there's only 7 of them. So therefore, let's finish this the Gemara. When Tchufas Nissen falls out in the slush of Tzedek, it's going to make this royim what? Dry. And provided that the moon already, it was the new moon, that the moiler took place either in Levana, not the moon, but the celestial body called moon, or the celestial body called Jupiter. So this basically is this is Shmuel's din. This was the easy part of today's daf, guys. This truly was the easy part of today's daf. Okay, now for the interesting part of today's daf, I have to let me find it. I should be here somewhere. No, let's not get it over here. Let's see if I can get it. Full screen. I don't know how to get 2 things on the screen. That's the crazy thing. I don't know why it doesn't work for me. Okay, this doesn't work. This definitely doesn't work. Okay. Okay. Do you see this? Guys, you see this?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Baruch Hashem. Okay, we're on the Yomi Beis now. Take a look at picture number 47. Put your eyeballs upon this picture. Get used to it, okay? We have a city that is a circle. We said yesterday, you go ahead and you square off the city to figure out the tchum. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you square that off, we're going to do 2 kulas to give us a full. So from here, you're going to get 2,000 amis. Here, you're going to get 2,000 amis. Here, you're going to get 2,000 amis. And here, you're going to get 2,000 amis, right? Good. So the first thing you did was you added on an area over here before you squared it off. You squared the circle.
You boxed in the circle.
You boxed in the circle. So that's the first thing. And that's your tchum. Now, let's say you wanted to walk from here, guys. You look where the pointer is. Let's say you wanted to walk from here. You wanted to walk in this direction. You want to go in this direction and this direction, right? So there's a second, we did a second leniency. Here it is. We boxed that as well. We boxed those corners as well. So now what you're looking at, guys, in picture 49, you're looking at the circle that was boxed in with these two, this extra plus this extra. Why? Because we know that the diagonal is 1.4 of the line, of the area outside. In other words, the diagonal of a square is 1.4 as opposed to this, which is 1. It's 0.4 bigger. So therefore, 2,000 becomes 2,800. Guys, look at the bottom. 2,000 becomes 2,800 because it's 2,000 times 1.4. Nimsa, you're going to gain over here the following. If you go from here to here, the diagonal, this diagonal is going to be 1,000. From the middle to the end is 1,000. 1,000 times 1.4 is 1,400. So you're gaining 400 over here, plus an additional 800 over here for a total of 1,200 amis. Again, when I say 800, really you gain, it's really 2,000 times 0.4 is 1.4 is 800. 2,000 times 1 is 2,800. 2,800. Over here, when you say 1,000, because that's the diagonal, you're going from the middle of 2,000. So my middle over here is going for over here. So Nimsa, what I'm gaining is, no, that's the next picture. What I gained is 400 here, and this is 2,800, 800 here. 800 plus 400. I gained, if I'm going to walk from here, I'm going to gain 1,200. So that's if you walk from here. So take this, we're boxing it in. We're gaining 400 as a result of that box because the diagonal over here is 1,000 from the middle to here. It's 800 in total. 800 in total. It's 800 in total over here. However, since I'm going from the middle, I'm only going from the 1,000 point, not the 2,000 point. So I'm going to get the 400 here. Then this is a total box. That's 2,000. 2,000 is 2,800. So 800 over here, 400 over here, which give me a total of 1,200. That's what you're seeing over here, right? You're seeing that over here. It's a little more clearer maybe in this box over here.
Rabbi, can I ask a
2,000 times
question?
8.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So we're talking about a city, that the city itself is 2,000.
The
right?
city is a circle.
The circle, I understand, the 2,000, and it says the city is 2,000, right?
Yeah.
Ama, Agula. If the city was bigger than that, the city was, who knows, it's in New York City. Or
Correct.
some big city.
This is difficult enough with 2,000. This is a city that's 2,000 by 2,000.
You have
Halacha l'maisa.
you have an extra 1,200 amas.
What?
You're getting an extra 1,200 amas.
Yes, you're getting an extra 1,200 amas. Does anyone not see that? Again, it's the basic myth. Does anyone not see that? We're gaining two things by boxing it in. Again, it's the same myth twice. The first one's a circle, but we're starting at the 1,000 point. So it's 2,000 is 800, 1,000 is 400. So if I'm going that direction in the middle of the city, I'm getting 400. Then each one of those corners is a full 2,000. So that is 800. 800 plus 400 is 1,200. Let's see it inside. I'm going to put it on the board again, and we'll see it inside and see if it makes any sense. Okay. So says the Gemara, Tan Rabbanan Amid Beis. Hamava Esa'ir, if someone goes in and squares off a city, Oisa Kamin Tavla Miruvas, first you go ahead and make it square, you box in the circle. And then you're going to go ahead and box in the tchumim. Guys, we boxed in the tchumim over here. One, two, three, four. So we boxed in the city, right? And then we boxed in tchumim. 1, 2, 3, 4. We boxed in tchumim. You with me? Those are the words, how it fits into Gemara. Continues the Gemara. When you measure, lo yimda emsa hakeren al payimama. Do not go ahead and count from the keren al payimama. It's obvious. You're going to mix. If you don't count from here, because you're going to be mixing the corner. Ela mevi tavla meruvas. Bring another square. Shehi al payimama. That's 2,000 by 2,000. Umeinichem bekeren. Leave it in the corner. Bilachsoina. With and a diagonal. Nimsa ir mishtakeres. The city you're going to gain from the city itself, from here to here, you're going to gain arba meis amas, 400 amas lakan, arba meis amas lakan, and 400 amas lakan over here, this way and that way. Nimsa tchumim mishtachim ches meis amas, and the tchumim themselves, you're going to gain a total of 800 amas. Again, 2,000 times 1.4. Lakan, ushmona meis amas lakan, nimsu ir tchumim. As a result of the ear, the 400 of the city, and what? And the 800 of the tchumim is elavu masayim lakan, velavu masayim lakan, 1,200 over here, 1,200 over there, and Omer Rabbi mishkachas lo b'masa dehave trei alfei at trei alfei, and Chaim you find it by a city that's 2,000 by 2,000, 2,000 by 2,000. Any questions? Was good? Okay. Hang in there. Next piece. Next piece. Let's see how we do over here. It would have been great if I didn't record this and Steve Geller would have a fit. Okay, guys. City of Levium. They have, here's the heir of the Levi, same 2,000. However, out of this 2,000, we leave an area called a migrash, an area that you don't plant anything in. So you leave a migrash over here, a migrash over here, a migrash over here, a migrash over there, and there you plant sados ukramim, and there you have it. And again, we're going to do the same thing over here as we did by the other city. We're going to box in over here, box in over there, make total boxes. However, we're told that this is a quarter. The midrash is a quarter of tchum, which makes no sense because the midrash, in fact, seems to be half of the tchum. Guys, you have this is 2,000, this is 2,000, this is 2,000, this is 2,000, then this is 1,000, this is 1,000, this is 1,000, this is 1,000. So our problem is the Gemara is going to say it's a quarter. Right? In fact, it seems to be a half. You hear the problem? So how do we get it to mean a quarter? That seems to be the problem. How exactly do we get it to mean a quarter seems to be the problem. Okay? So we're going to find it by the following.
A quarter of what?
The migrash is a quarter of the whole area. So now, look at this picture. Look at it well. Oh, here it is. Oh, I turned it around. I'm sorry. Here. Says the Gemara, Tanya, Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Yossi, the Chum Orei Leviim, that the Chum of the city of Leviim, Alpayim Amma, say mehem elef Amma Migrash, take away from the Chum and put him at elef Amma of a Migrash, Nimsa Migrash Revia, Nimsa the Migrash is a quarter, V'hashar Sadas Kramim, and all the rest are Sadas Kramim. Menon immediately how you have a Migrash, Amrava Damakra, Mikir Ir B'chutza Elef Amma, Saviv. Amr Torah, Saviv Eseir Be'elef, go ahead and surround the city with 1,000. Nimsa, Migrash is Revia. Nimsa of the whole area of the Tchum of the is what is a quarter. Fred the Gemara Revia, Palga Have. It's not a Revia, it's a half. Right, guys? You see the problem? So the rest of the Gemara is to try to figure out a half. Guys, the rest of the Gemara is to figure out how you got it to be a quarter, not a half. We're going to have 3 distinct pshatim. I'll illustrate you on the pictures, and then we'll see them in the Gemara, okay? We'll see one at a time, Mishan. So what our mission is to figure out, looking at the Migrash, apparently it's half of the Tchum, not a quarter. How is that going to work out? And let's see what we got over here. Okay, so using our method that we said before, using the same method we said before, we're going to have, we squared off the city. It was a squared city. You have the Tchum, the Aleph is the Tchum over here, over here, over here, and over here. And then we have our Kronos over here. So the Aleph is the, look where I'm pointing. The Aleph is the Tchum, the Beis of the Kronos, and the Gimel are the Keren of the Migrash. Here's the Migrash, and here's the Keren of the Migrash. If you do the math, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got 36 boxes. 36 boxes. Okay? Now, take away the city. If you take away the city, you got 32 boxes, correct? If you take away the city, you got 32 boxes. We want the Migrash to be a quarter of the city. If you count the boxes in the Migrash, what do you got? You have 12. 12 of 32 is not even a third, correct? The Migrash is 12 boxes, guys. I just did it for you, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There you go, 12. So you have the Migrash is going to be 12. 12 of 32. So if you put 36, counting the city, it's still 12 of 36. It's a third. It's not a quarter, correct? It's a third. It's not a quarter. So the Gemara is going to suggest we're going to take away the Kronos. Says the Gemara. Let's see this inside. So we are holding by a question. Revia Palgahavi. Amar Rava bar Arda Mishucha bar Arda the surveyor Asberli. Mishkachasla, you find that the Migrash is a quarter. Bimasa Dahave Trey Alfi at Trey Alfi. You have what? Again, 2,000 by 2,000. The Tchum Kamahave is, again, we need 32, guys, right? 32. We take away the city. So Tchum is Shitzar, is 16. Kronos Kamahave, Shitzar, 16. Total of 32. Now, 32 because we didn't count the city. Dal Timnaya de Tchumim, take away 8 guys. Look, look what I'm taking away. These two, the Tchumim, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? For Arba the Kronos, and you're taking 4 of the Kronos, Kamahave, Tresa. So now you have the Migrash is 12 of 32. Nims the Migrash is Revia, Femi Tilsaninu. You're not giving me a quarter. If it's 12 of 32, it's even more than a third. So far good? So far good?
Yeah.
Yes.
I see Arba de Masa. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'll add the 4 of the city now, which I didn't get before, which will make it 36. Shadi Alayu, and throw it on the 32. Akalta Tilsahave. It's still only what? A third. 12 of 36 is a third. Says Gemara, Misavis Beravua Kamar, Beigula Kamar. I wasn't speaking about a city that is. I'm not speaking about a city that is squared. I'm speaking be'igula. Now, how much is a square more than what? Than an eagle? A quarter. A quarter of 12 is how much, guys? 3. 12 minus 3 is 9. 9 into 36 is how much? There's your quarter right there. That's your quarter. Says the Gemara, Misavis b'revu kamar, be'igula kamar. We weren't speaking about a square. We're speaking about a circle. Says the Gemara, Kama Miravua yes ala eagle. How much is the square more than the circumference? Is Revia, is a quarter more. So a quarter of 12, Dal Revia Minaya from 12, which will give you what? Pashlu Tisha. Vitilsha Mitilsin, Vishisa, 9 of 36 Revia Hava. So basically, what you're telling me is that you put 36 boxes over here. The migrash is 9 of that. 9 of 36 is the total what? Is a quarter, and that works out well. Okay, that works out.
Rabbi, I lost how you got to 9.
We had 12 of 32,
Yeah.
12 of 36, right? So we counted 12 of 36. Instead of counting 12, we're going to count is a circle. A circle is a quarter less than 12. The circumference of a circle is a quarter less. In other words, if you box in the circle, it's going to be a quarter more. So this is a quarter less. A quarter less of what? Of 12.
12 is 9. Okay.
It's 9. 9 into 36 is a quarter. There you got it. That's the
So
first shot. That again.
You're only saying that this is going according to a round city. The statement was never made for a square city.
Correct.
Okay.
This is a statement of Amira. We have to think, like this Amira, how does it work out? So the first way it works out is very, very pashut. You have 6 by 6 is 36. Even though the city, it doesn't make any sense to count the city, guys, right? You're going around the city. But that's what the Gemara says. You know, this is like the Jewish tailor. We're going to make it fit, right? So we have 36. We got the 36. We had 12 into 36. It was a third. We needed a quarter. We got the quarter by going ahead and making it an eagle, a circumference, which is a quarter less. Quarter of 12 is 9, 9, 36, first teretz. Guys, good? I think it's very good, right? Okay, next. Let's see. Where's David? Is David here? Did I lose David?
It's easier than Kachin.
Where's David Sass? I lost David Sass. Okay, I got Shimon. I lost David Sass. Okay, let's see next.
Maybe he had to go daven mincha.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, continues the Gemara. Abayir Amar, Mishkachas Lanami, will also find it. Masa dahave alpha ba'alpha tchumim. One that was 1,000 by 1,000. We'll find it over here. Here you have a city, 1,000 by 1,000. This city is 1,000 by 1,000. You're going to put the tchumim up there, guys, right? You're going to put the tchumim up there. So you have the tchumim. You have 2,000, right? 2,000. You have this again, the same thing. You have Arba Tchumim and Arba Kronos. Continues the Gemara. Alpha Tchumim Kama Have is Timnaya. Your 4 Tchumim, 4 times 2,000, right, is 8. Kronos Kama Have, they're always going to be Shitza, guys. They're always going to be 16, right? Because again, it's always 2,000 by 2,000. Dal Arba Tchumim. Take away 4 of the tchumim, the arba de kronos, kama have timnaya. So now you have 8 of 30 of 24. It says when till sahave, it's what? It's 8 is a third. Do the same thing. Misavis b'revuah kamar bi'ikul kamar. Kama miravua yeser ala igul. How much is the circle more than the square? A quarter. How much is a quarter of 8? Dal ravia pashlu shitzar. You're going to end up with 6. 6 to 24 is michavdal ravia hava. 6 instead of 9 of 36. You're going to get 6 of 24. Same. In other words, all he's saying the same math, but you find it in the city not of 2,000. You even find it in the citywide of 1,000. Okay. That was this picture. 2 more terutzim. Ravina Amar, my Ravia the Tchumen. What does Ravia mean? It means the Ravia of the Tchumen. Why do I have this? Here's your Tchumen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. The Tchum was 16. Good. The Migrash is 4, is 8, is a quarter of 16. There you go. My Revia, what's Revia? Tchumim. So it's over here, it's a quarter of the Tchumim. You're not going the whole, you thought it was the whole area. It's not the whole area. All we're taking into account is the Tchumim. The Tchumim are a total of 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 16. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a hif, right? Says the Gemara, that doesn't make any sense what I just told you. Ravina Amar, my Ravia the Tchumim. It's a quarter of the Tchumim. Says the Tchumim are, so this is, yeah, I guess, look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That makes no sense. How does this, why did it make sense to me before? Oh, I know what it means.
Because these two,
It means
the other two
guys,
boxes.
Take out the city. Take out the city. You got 32 boxes, right? Take out the city. You got 32 boxes now, right? Count all the boxes. You got 32. Remember, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 36. Minus 4 is 32. 8 of 32 is a quarter. That's how you got it. That's it. Guys, good?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the opposite of Ashi Amar. My Revia, it means Revia the Kronos. It means a quarter of, this is the exact opposite. It's a quarter of the Kronos. The Kronos are 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 16. 4 is a quarter of 16. So that's 3 pshat than what he meant by the quarter. Either 9 of 36, either 8 of 32, either 4 of 16. You good? Okay, Baruch Hashem. Ravashi Amamai Revia the Kronos. Amar Ravina Ravashi. Saviv ksiv. It says around. According to you, you're not going around. You're going just on the corners. Says the Gemara, my Saviv the Kronos. It means around the Kronos. It means over here, over here, over here. What's your proof? When they threw the dam on the mizbeach, did they throw in the mizbeach mamish? They didn't throw in the mizbeach. What did they do? They threw rod on the Kronos. My Saviv the Kronos. So my Saviv the Kronos. So just like when they threw the dam, they threw it over there. So to what? When they threw the dam, they counted the Kronos, the quarter, they only counted around it. Fred the Gemara, Amler of Chaviva, Mechuzol Ravashi, for Ika, my Russia the Karnasa, picture 58. Guys, you didn't take into account that remember the 800? You didn't take into account the 800. You're basing it upon flat 1,000. What about the extra Kronos over here? Says the Gemara, Masa Igilusa. It's speaking about a round Masa where there was no, this Aleph wasn't there. It wasn't squared off. Fred the Gemara, what are you talking about? But Revia, you squared it off. In other words, this din of the quarter is speaking by a city that's round. Fred the Gemara, but you squared off the city. What do you mean it's round? And the Gemara, Kemander Maras, Revua Vadai, Mimar Vinon. We said we view it, it's a virtual city, guys, but it's not a reality city. It's a virtual squared city, but it's not in reality a squared city. How much is the single along? How much is a square more than the circle? Revia. Sahani tam nemeya. This is not 400, it's 800. It's not 800. Shish meya v'shishim v'sheven nechitilsa. You went ahead and said what? You went ahead and said that it's 1.4, correct? But it's really not 1.4. It's really a quarter less. It's really 33rd and a third, 666 and 2/3. It's 666 and 2/3. If you want to figure out the area, it's going to be a quarter. So if you tell me it's really round, this isn't a total of 400. It's a quarter less. It's 33 and a third on this side, 33 and a third on this side, which is 666 and 2/3. Says the Gemara. Kam Ravua yes al eagle. How much is the Ravua? Is the square more than the circle? Is Ravia? So Hani Tam Nemeya? You say it's 800? Sheish Meya v'shishim v'sheva nechin tilsahave. It's 667 minus a third, or 666 and 2/3. Amalei Hani Mila Bigula Migoy Ravua. That's when the circle is in the square. Avabalach Soina be'inin tfei. We're not just speaking about, guys, the area of how much a square is more than a circle. We're speaking about the diagonal of the circle. By the diagonal, we need more. Damamar, kol amsa berivua, amsa v'trei chumshe be'achsoina. Anything that's an amma in the square is 1 2/5 in the diagonal. So you're asking a kasha. In the area, we know that that the square is larger, and you're giving it a larger area. You're saying it's 400 here and 400 here. That's not true. It should be less. Says going, no. In area, it's less, but in the diagonal, figuring out the diagonal of the circle in the square, that we go according to the same, which is 1.4, basically. And that brings us to the end of this Gemara.
But the 1.4.
And I will not take any questions. I mean, I will, but after share, okay? Let's go. I like to make a little hay. I think all in all, you understand what we did, right? It worked out. All in all, I think it worked out okay. I got to ask my mathematician, Shimon, it worked out? Shimon?
Yeah.
It worked out mathematically?
Yeah.
Sort
There's just one typo. Rabbi.
Yeah. Which is the typo?
On the sheet that we sent out.
Yeah.
Right before, let's go to it.
Oh, back to the with the
Yeah,
Levana?
the 7.5 hours. Yeah.
Oh, tell me after share. We were past that already.
I thought we finished share. Sorry. Okay, good.
No, you tell me tomorrow. No, we didn't finish share yet. We have to catch up.
Okay.
It says the Mishnah. Nice and karfif le'ir divrei meya. You give a karfif to a city. You got a city, you give it a karfif. In other words, city, but we said this. You're not going to measure 2,000. You're not going to measure 2,000 from the wall of the city. You're going to give it 70 and 2/3, and you're going to measure 2,000 from the 70 and 2/3. We call that ibura shelir. Remember, whether it's an ayin or an aleph, that was the whole discussion, how we got into this. Whether it's an ayin or an aleph, we're discussing it from there. Nice and karfif le'ir divrei meya. One city alone will not get a karfif, but you'll put it between two cities. Then you have 70 and 2/3, 70 and 2/3, or 141 and a third. Then you'll go ahead and say you're going to count the tchum from each side of the city and not from the middle of the city. Like we said yesterday with the city where it was cut in half. If you have cities that are mishulashim, cities that are one after the other. Let's get this. you'll have a city over here in the middle, and now that this is a karfif here, a karfif there, guys, we're going to start counting 2,000 amas from here and 2,000 amas from here, as opposed to from here or here, right? Or here or here. You're going to count the 2,000 amas from here or here. We'll view this as one big city, and you're going to get the tchum from the sides. V'chein gimel kfarim b'shaloshim yesh b'hem shnayim chitzoniim me'av arba v'achas v'shlim asa amsoy eshloshim liyasecha. This middle one is going to make them what? Like 2. Mashmid, because there's a city there, it's like 2. We'll get back to that in a second. Menani mili, that you give a karfif. Amar Rava damakra mikira ir v'chutza. Amar Torah tein chutza ve'echad kach modod. First give what? Chutza. First give an outside. The achakach and after you give the outside, then modod begin counting your what? Your 2,000. First give that, and then start counting your 2,000. The Chachamim Amru, they said only 2 cities gets a karfif. We're gonna have machloikis what the Chachamim mean. Chachamim Amru, only we're gonna have machloikis what that means. Itmar Rav Huna Amar. Nice and karfif lezu, karfif lezu. When it says that you give a karfif, means each city gets a karfif. A total of 141 2/3. And the third. Chia barava, no, karfif echel l'shteyem. In between the city, you're going to have a 70 2/3. Tanan, b'chachamim laimim, like omru karfif, ela bein beza yoreis. Mashma, how many are you giving? You're giving 1, not 2. Mashma like Chia Barav, and not like Rav Huna. Rav Huna said you're going to give each one a karfif. No, only 1 gets a karfif. So you're going to have 1 karfif for 2. Kasha on Rav Huna's pshat. Tiyufta Rav Huna, apparently an upshlag on Rav Huna. Amalak Rav Huna, my karfif, when it means karfif, it doesn't mean 1 karfif, it means Torah's karfif. The whole musig, the whole concept of karfif. However, in practical, ula olam, karfif lezu, the karfif lezu. Each one will get its own karfif. Hachanami mistabra, to say that what? That it gets its own karfif. Miktani seifa, im yesh lezu ayin amu shirayim, lezu ayin amu shirayim, oisa karfif l'shteyem. If you go ahead, each one, you're going to make it in 1 city. Liyos echad. Shmamina. So in other words, from the case of the Mishnah, when you say you make 1 and 1, Smash becomes 1 city. It's a rayat Rav Huna, and now not only it's a rayat Rav Huna, apparently it's an upshlag on Chia Barav who says you only give 1. Shema mina le'mitavi tiyufta of Chia Barav. Amla Chia Barav on the day says Chia Barav, money. Who's the Tana of that last clause? Who's the Tana of that last clause that if it has a karfif lezu, a karfif lezu, is Reb Meir. Reb Meir says, guys, each city gets 1, right? A city gets 1. Kamash Malan, that if you have 2 cities, they get 2. Don't think that a city gets 1 and 2 cities get 1. The chiddush is that 1 city gets 1 and another city gets 1. Says Gemara, Ira Mehi Hatana L'Reisha Noisim Karfif L'Ir Divra Meya. So why do you have to go ahead and repeat it? Guys, look at our Mishnah. Look back at our Mishnah. Noisim Karfif L'Ir Divra Meya. Give a Karfif to Meya. These are the words of Reb Meya. Says now the Gemara. One more line. In Yesh Lo Shiva Amal B'Shirayim Lazu U'Shivayim B'Shirayim Lazu Oisa Karfif V'Shteim L'Yasechad. Now, if you're telling me that's according to Reb Meya already taught us that. What the assumption is, if you said 1 city gets 1 karfif, 2 city gets 2 karfif voices, correct? So what's the chiddush? Says the Gemara, Reb Meya back in the Yom days, Reb Meya he hatani la reisha noisten karfif leir. Reb Meya says my tzricha. You need to tell me both. You need to tell me that 1 city gets a karfif, and you need to tell me that 2 cities get 2 karfif voices. If you just said a city gets 1, I would say 1 for 1 and 1 for 2. Kamash Malon dil tarti trey yavin alu. Kamash Malon that for 2 cities you get 2. If you tell me 2 cities get 2, you know why they get 2? Because you got 2 cities, so they need 2 spaces. Aval Hasam where it's 1 city, the loy dechika tash misayu. I would say that what? That not. So the tzrich, I would say that what? That you don't get any karfif. So we could tell me that you do get a karfif. Tanan, the Mishnah said, "V'chein shleisha kfarim hamshulashim Picture number 63 in front of you. 3 mishulashim. If you have 141, the total between this place and this place, right? And the presence of this middle city makes it what as 1. Guys, what happens if you take out the city? Guys, look, I'm going to have this space, 141 and 1/3, but without the city. Mashma, then it would not be considered one city. The reason why it's considered one city is because I have a city in the middle. Take away the city and keep the distance. What would it then be? 2 cities, right? The diak is, the reason why this is one city is because there's a city there. Take away that city, and I'd say it's considered one city. 2 cities. It's the same distance. Karfef lezu v'karfef lezu. Apparently a tiyufta de Rav Huna. Apparently this would be an upshlag on Rav Huna. Inside the Gemara, Taima, the reason why it's considered one city, the Ika Amsoy, because you have what? It's city in the middle. Haleka Amsoy, but if you don't have a city in the middle, loy. Says Gemara tiyufta de Rav Huna. Let's say this is an upshlag on Rav Huna. Amar Rav Huna, ha'itmar Allah, Amar Rava, or Amar Rav Ada, Amar Rava, or Rav Ada, Amar Rav Chanina, loy mishulashim mamish, el royin kol she'ilu matlim tzoy beinayim v'yu mishulashim. Ve'ein bein lezeh lezeh el kuf mem ama ba'achas u'shlish, as emtzoy yesh shlashim liyas echad. Pirish, this picture 64. You don't have a city in between, guys. You don't have a city in between. We view if the city would be in between as if it's one city. We view as if the city was in between as if it's one city. So that's what it means. It's not a kash on me. Says Rav Huna, each city is entitled to its own karfis. So therefore, if you have 141 and 1/3 over here, 141 and 1/3 over here, you'd say there's no way in the world this is considered one city. And the answer is, if it's 141 over here, 141 over here, and I could put a city in the middle, then I'll view this as one big city and count my 2,000 from over here and 2,000 from over there. So therefore, it's a virtual city. Fred the Gemara, how far away does the city have to be to virtually be there? In other words, you have a city. The Gemara says it has to be within 2,000. Says the Gemara, how much between this city and this one to be considered one? Amalei alpayim ama. I Fred the Adhu the Amid Kavase the Rava braid the Rabbi Rav Huna. Okay, guys, we had a case earlier. Do you remember this? We had it yesterday. Let me go back. Boy, we had a lot of pictures. Yeah. He's telling me if it's 2,000 over here, you count from here, not from here. So if it's 2,000 over there, why do you say the city? You're going to consider one city. We said if it's 2,000 away, you don't consider part of it. The Gemara answered over there because since you can come this way over here, it's considered one city. Mashenkin, in the picture we just saw, you can't. Says the Gemara, says it's more than 2,000 amas. Hasan ikabatim. Over there, there's houses in between. Hachalekabatim. Over here, there's no houses in between. Family Rabbi Labaya, Kami Yehe ben Chitzon leChitzain, Kami Yehe my nafka lamina. Kol she'ilu machlis em tzoy benayim, ben zel zel and me'er abayim achas shlish, bafil dial apayim. In other words, we say we don't care if it's filled in, as long as the distance is what? Is 141 and third in. It says V'amar Rav Huna ir ha'asu kikeshes, a city that's made like a keshes. So 1 second, I guys, do me a favor. I'm going to stop here. I don't really prepare this, and why should I go ahead and say something that's not true? So we'll stop it over here, and we'll finish it tomorrow. Okay?
Thank you.
Sure, thank you very much.